Now, for anyone that doesn't know, Jerry Sadowitz is a name that is very well known in Scotland. Very well known, especially in the comedy scene. He's a little bit of the Voldemort of the comedy scene. But very well respected. Very well respected. However, he has an acquired taste. Now, I don't know. I tend to not upload my comedy shows. I've uploaded a few ones, like a couple, where one of them I was under like a lot of rules and stuff like that. Not from the venue. Very important. Not from the venue. But they're very tame. My other ones I don't upload for reasons. Now, Jerry Sadowitz does not let anyone record his shows. Google online right now. Go on to Google right now. Go on to YouTube. You will not find a single video of a Jerry Sadowitz show. You might find a picture that someone's managed to like flyly take on their phone. Jerry Sadowitz goes fucking off on you if you try to record his show. He's never uploaded a special, never posted it anywhere. His content is that mental, right? Jerry Sadowitz makes me look like an absolute scrub, an absolute pussy. Jerry Sadowitz is a completely different beast altogether. There he is there. Now, but he's been a mainstay at the Edinburgh Fringe Comedy Festival. He's been a mainstay at that for years. The guy's been in the game for decades, right? Everyone in the comedy scene in Scotland knows who Jerry Sadowitz is. Some of them are a bit intimidated by him. Some of them really like him. I've never had the joy of meeting the man, but hopefully one day. An Edinburgh Festival show by controversial comedian Jerry Sadowitz has been cancelled by venue bosses. The comic and magician had been due to play 2 nights at the Pleasance at Edinburgh International Conference Centre on Friday and Saturday. The Pleasance said that the second night would not go ahead as his material does not align with our values. Sadowitz, 61, an American-born Scot, is known for aggressive stand-up performances, and that is putting it fucking mildly. Now, this 100% is on the Pleasance. You booked Jerry Sadowitz. You booked Jerry Sadowitz. Now, obviously, because you are part of the Fringe, you obviously are aware of some of the comedians' names that are in the biz around the Fringe at this time of year. And I know you've heard of Jerry Sadowitz. Everybody does. Because venues will book him, but they're very nervous about booking him, right? So you knew ahead of time. If you did not know ahead of time, then whoever you've got doing your bookings, fire them because they are terrible at their job. They are awful at their job if they did not know Jerry Sadowitz. Sadowitz, I've just read that. He said on Twitter, did a show last night, 75 minutes, thought it went well, didn't see any walkouts because it's very common for people to walk out of Jerry Sadowitz's show. Today, I'm told my show has been cancelled. Great stuff. I'm truly sorry for everyone who travelled to see the show tonight. The venue's original listing carried the warning. This show contains strong language and themes some may find distressing, which I have outside of my shows as well. And yet, for some reason, people still seem to turn up and then walk out because they got offended. Why did you come? Why did you come? Yes, I'm going to make jokes about the Holocaust and Jews and rape and all those other things, like, but you turned up anyway and you got upset. Right, just I don't understand. However, on Saturday, the Pleasance Theatre Trust said that the second performance was cancelled with immediate effect. It said in a statement, opinions such as those displayed on stage by Sadowitz, although they're not opinions, they are jokes, are not acceptable, and the Pleasance are not prepared to be associated with such material. Then why did you book him? Why? Like, it is understood complaints have been received from some audience members who attended Friday night's performance. Yep, basically, why were they at a Jerry Sadowitz show? Why were they there? Like, Jesus Christ. The Pleasance declined to give details about what aspect of Sadowitz's material led to the cancellation. I have an idea why, because I've heard, because it's something that Jerry Sadowitz is very well known for doing. He got his dick out on stage. That's what I'm hearing happened. This is the thing, is you only hear about what happens at Sadowitz's shows. You can't watch them for yourself because he doesn't let anyone record them. Its director, Anthony Alderson, added, the Pleasance is a venue that champions freedom of speech and we do not censor comedians' material. While we acknowledge that Jerry Sadowitz has often been controversial, the material presented at his first show is not acceptable and does not align with our values. This type of material has no place on the festival. Right, so Fringe as a whole, that Jerry Sadowitz has been a mainstay on for like fucking decades now, has no place at the festival, and the Pleasance will not be presenting his second and final show. So let me just read that again. The Pleasance is a venue that champions freedom of speech and we do not censor comedians' material. This type of material has no place on the festival and the Pleasance will not be presenting his second and final show. Pick one. Pick one. You can't have both. So the fact that they did cancel the show means the Pleasance is not known as a place for freedom of speech. Because if they don't like your material, then they will cancel your show. And they will also not do any research into you whatsoever before they book you. So, if anything, for any comedians that are out there, good to know, don't try and book the Pleasance. Don't. Because what they'll do is they'll not look into you, not look into what your show's about, and then what will happen is it gets close to the show, they'll go, oh, you made a tweet where you used the F word in 2014, and boom, your show's shut down because they didn't look into you. I've had people do that to me before. The amount of people that just hear a name... what I've noticed a lot of them do is they'll like look at your Twitter and look at your YouTube. They'll look at the subs to see if you're popular enough to get a show. And then what will happen is closer to the time, someone in their office that does the bookings will go, Isn't that the guy that was in UCAP and all that? And that's when they go, oh yeah, sorry, I know your show's in like 3 days, but we're cancelling because we didn't do our due diligence and your fans have already booked flights and hotels and shit like that. So many places have done that because just idiots do not do their research before doing bookings. So see before you book a place, make sure they know who you are, they know what your act is, and all of that. Just make sure all of that's known ahead of time. So it seems that the Pleasance is one of those venues that do an absolute fuck about and waste everyone's time. So don't book the Pleasance. The venue said that refunds would be issued to those who bought tickets to the Saturday performance, most of whom probably had to get travel, most of whom probably had to get hotels, which they're not going to get back. However, they still might be able to have a nice little night in Edinburgh. Sorry, couldn't make it through that. Sorry, Edinburgh's not a real place. Please include a contact number if you're willing to speak to a BBC journalist. No. Why would I ever want to speak to a journalist? However, this is the thing that whenever a venue or like a platform puts a person on, I don't hold that platform responsible for what comes out of that person's mouth. Right? See, for example, there are people that have said, like, for example, like on Twitch and YouTube, there's a lot of leftist streamers that say just outright lies about me all the time. He's a white supremacist, you're not, blah, 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 blah. I'm not a white supremacist, I'm not a Nazi. I'm a Hoppian. Close. It's not close. But, close. Not close, but based. But basically, I'm not out there going, oh, this is Twitch's and YouTube's fault for having these people. No, I'm blaming the person that's saying the things. They're the ones that are saying it. I don't blame the platform. However, you know, the easily offended and, you know, leftists and stuff like that, they blame the person and the platform. So they will go after the platform as well. Right? So that's why you're getting comedians getting kicked off of shows, because this is the problem with these extremely privileged, very well off crybabies. It's not enough for them to just not go to the show. It's not enough for them to just go, oh, okay, this isn't for me, and then just get up and leave. That's not enough for them. They have to go the extra mile. They've had a very privileged upbringing where they're very used to getting what they want and having things their way. Basically, mummy and daddy didn't give them a little slap enough when they were younger. They are one of those types, right? So it's not enough for them to just not buy a ticket or to just get up and leave the show. They have to make sure that no one else gets to enjoy the show. And the reason that they do that is they love having things their way because they're giant fucking babies, but also because they got upset at the person on stage and they want to punish them by taking the audience away from them. So that makes these people authoritarians, right? They're speech fascists. They turn around and call everybody else fascist, but when it comes to speech, they are fascists. It's not enough for them to just choose what media they consume. They want to control what media other people can consume. If I don't like it, then you're not allowed to either, right? These people are 6-year-olds in adult bodies. Right, that's an opinion that only some stupid little fucking toddler can have. Right, that is just such an immature, childish, stupid opinion. Right, for example, Rishi. No, in fact, well, one of the things is what's his name? What's the name of that? I forget his name, even though I hate him. That comedian that's always ranting on about fucking Nish Kumar. He's always ranting about white people and colonizers every fucking show. Right. I don't like him. I think his jokes are crap. I do not find him funny. I find some of his comments about white people offensive. He should be able to do as many comedy shows as he wants. If people want to go see him, people want to go see him. That's fine, because that's kind of how free speech works. I can sit there and say, I don't like him, I don't enjoy him, I think he's a bit of a dickhead. So I'm just going to do this really crazy thing where I'm just not going to go to his shows. If I turn on QI or any episode of 8 out of 10 Cats or whatever and he's on, I'll change the channel, which I've done because I'm like, I fucking hate that guy. and I do this weird thing where I change the channel and I watch something else. It's weird. It's this revolutionary fucking thing where I'm quite happy all the time. Right? Well, see if there's things I don't like, I don't watch them. I know, I'm a fucking nutcase, I'm mad, fucking lock me up, right? I just don't watch the things. I don't then take to Twitter or fucking YouTube or anything like that and start screaming and bitching going, no one's allowed to watch this. Everyone is watching 8 out of 10 Cats right now. Turn your TV off. Go into the back room and say 10 Hail Marys while flagellating yourself with a fucking cat o' nine tails or a fucking broken air duster. Fuck off, right? There's no need for any of that, and I'm so much happier for it. I don't go out and consume things that make me mad or upset. And if everybody else could do the same thing, then Jerry Sadowitz and all the other comedians and everyone could have their own shows and YouTube channels and everything fucking else. And all you have to do is not watch it if you don't like it. Other people want to see it. It's not up to you what other people see. You little stuck-up fucking toddler. Why fly kick you over a fucking fence?